greetings. Thanks for joining us. Okay, the whole rant there, trying to stay out of using the subject matter. For obvious reasons, I want to get to, push your luck too much here. So, just going to the kind of a general connection of what's going on in the higher dimensions. We'll just do the alien connection. Also go to the whatever needs to be said there, similar to like yesterday to some level, but maybe a little bit deeper. We'll see. Just because we are getting kind of a resistance, a pull, a push frequency. Obviously, there's being the beings that are testing us. Obviously, want to keep us. They're going through their emotions. Also, they're going through their stuff. But they have to see if we're ready to go and to accept higher knowledge. Not that higher dimensional knowledge, but it's so because they can see the flaws within us. Let's put it that way. I'm not going into too much into that. And the ninth dimensional Earth, basically just ninth dimension consciousness of maybe what we're missing or whatever it needs to say to our reality currently. So for some reason, ninth dimension comes first, so I just kind of go with it. There are those that feel like they remember their Atlantean lifetimes that are kind of big on the internet or the spiritual space. And that's their version of it. Everyone has their own version of reality, different realities. So just kind of go with the flow. It's not so big, but there is past life connections. There might not always make a lot of sense, but just do it best you can, basically. All right, so I'm talking comment pro sessions. Scheduler. It's on the shop here. All right. I'm just experimenting with the site, I'll probably change it up a little bit again. So just to tweak it here and there. All right, no Priscilla. The cats are sleeping. That's probably something I should be doing right now. So, all right, we're going to Cosmic Battle 4D, 5D frequency. And just what that needs, basically the galactics on a higher level, and see what they have to say in the 9D Earth. So, okay, blessings, here we go. Greetings. This is just the consciousness of 4 or 5 dimensions, 4th and 5th dimension, mixed in together. We'll give you the 4th dimensional aspect of your current state. There is a reptilian forces that are hesitant to connect with humanity, meaning they feel like humanity still has a long ways to go as for maturity on a higher level. Basically, for you to accept more of the knowledge of the universe, basically to reconnect to other planets, kind of going to other planets, like going to other towns, cities, things like that, 4th dimensionally. So you can also bring your physical Earth, which still has some physicality, but it's less physical than it is now. It is more like it's a physical realm, but without all its darkness. So there is some form of it, but it's like it's hard to fully explain, but it's kind of like a mountain. You can go inside the mountain, but you can also feel its denseness. But also, you're not crashing into it. If you run into it, you just, float right through it. It's not for everyone on that level, but it's the 4D does exist like that. And basically, just like your reality, it's like a reality matrix where is solid and then becomes not solid. And so the reason why we're bringing this up is some of you are tapping into those realities. Basically, it's kind of like going through timelines with less resistance. And even a combination of timelines can make you stronger. I mean, like, yes, relationship energies, friend connections, personal relationships can make you stronger. It's like they basically kind of like with business connections. They make things easier, or people that are connected doesn't mean they always have the best intentions. So basically, think of like 4D, 5D is like you're more connected to the angelic realms, but it's all about your actions, how you treat others. All these things factor in for this to occur. So if you're doing backstabbing and low vibrational energies and yes, creating cults or whatever, yes, it's a bit harder to get there. So in the physical realm, we just become, let's put it this way. In your physical realm, life becomes slightly easier, meaning that, yeah, manifesting, depending on what it is, comes to you much faster. But really, it's more about that empowers you. It doesn't mean it has to be a material possession. It's really just about can you bring to this reality for others, but it really has to do with how you treat others at the same, like what your intentions are. Because the universe sees all of that, or the angelic realms, or the ask, however you want to look at it. Yes, they're going to be resistance. They're going to test you also to see if you're the real thing. And just like anything else, just because those that have like a lot of power, it's like, do they get corrupted? Do they these always like these really twisted fetish energies? We just see it like that. So like you see those in the political world. It doesn't mean those politicians that exactly have the best intentions ever. It's just that some of them sell themselves out to get to those positions. But this is a little bit different what we're speaking about here. So yes, another form of coming into your power. Basically, all this has a lot to do is your influence towards others. Also to bring in higher dimensional knowledge to share with others also. That's what 4 and 5D frequency is that some of you are tapping into. It just becomes easier to bring information to others when the time is right. Not that the world's going to accept it, far from it. But at least it shows like your world's going to more of a, sounds a little strange saying, it's kind of like another category, another dimension of thinking. And it's up to humanity to decide what's best for them. That doesn't mean you're going to fly off to another planet or anything like that, but you're just fourth and fifth dimensional knowledge becomes more seated into your consciousness over time. That's what you're doing now. Right now, your spiritual communities have a small impact. I mean, it's small but large, but it's going to become more a part of the Earth's consciousness eventually. A lot of skepticism, of course, is going to be there, but it's going to anchor in. It's kind of like you're discovering, your physical humans. It's kind of like a new continent has arrived, or like a new technology, you can say, but this is more like information. A new category on life, a new way of looking at, a new belief system, you can say. Now, it's already been out there for a long time, but hasn't quite hit the mainstream as you like the metaphysical knowledge. It hits a lot of resistance, and it will do so. And there is already obviously information out there already, but a lot of it is weaponized for society. It's like it's either our way or the highway type of spiritual development. It's like this is how we remember it, and it's our way, and that's not really how it works. It's basically it's kind of like you're dropping like an angelic stone on the planet, and everyone deciphers it differently. It's like you're just like a mountain of knowledge, and everyone just sees it differently. It's just the way, it's like your activation portal that you're bringing in to the Earth. So it's not going to change the world completely, but it is helping. The idea is for the world to become less dense. You can still it's still going to be physical, less poverty, less war on itself, little by little. It's not going to happen instantly, far from it. It's just that humanity is letting go of a lot of these challenges little by little, but obviously it's going to be some time for that. It's just that those that have the way of like having their lives crashing on them, that's not always a bad thing, but also, there's gonna be knowledge of the fourth and fifth dimension become easier to access. Doesn't mean you'll pull yourself out of. You can pull yourself out of situations, but sometimes they need to be in, a lower state for whatever reason. Some people do put themselves in a corner and lock themselves there just because. And yes, your astral realms, your astral self, your higher self, higher dimension. Yes, you go through these difficulties here. It's like, I can get out of these problems, right? And then your higher dimensional self or higher, just like, yeah, but we're just going to leave you there instead. For what? Because there's like things can happen here in the physical that wasn't expected. Obviously, you always see it coming. It's like something new comes in and you just kind of just stick with that challenge. It sounds, yeah, it's very hellish here, but it has its purpose. Well, it's like you challenge, as some of you know, people can challenge themselves and you challenge themselves more and more and more. And some of you have done that. Maybe with a lot of regret, but you'd be surprised how necessary it is. It's like, yeah, we'll keep you alive. You're going to hate everything about it, but there is a purpose to it. Well, it's like you're just doing like a deeper cleaning within yourself karmically. It's like, it's like you go into the shower and do a scrub, and all of a sudden it's like you can really do another deeper cleaning. And sometimes, like, I'm here, it's going to hurt, but it's worth it. And it also goes through a desert period where nothing happens for a long time because you actually are doing angelic clearings there. So it's just not for everyone. Some are just now, they want this, they want that. And that's fine, but a lot of times it doesn't occur that way. So as for the battles itself that's here, there's a lot of wizardry happening here, yes. Very powerful wizard work to put your world backwards. It's like, you have a cosmic teachers. And it's like, it doesn't mean they hate humanity, but they just like, if you're going to come into your power, we're going to make your life hell first. As you can see, because the universe is not an easy place. But those of you that are rising to your abilities will see a much different frequency over time. It is a spiritual warrior here energy, if you want to call it that. You don't have to give it a label. But as for more of a unity without all these negative, like poverty, things like that, and weaponized food systems, over time they'll start to break down. And not yet. Poverty is actually a reset of one's frequency. Eventually, it's like you kind of throw everything away and just start from new, and just definitely get rid of materialism. There's just a lot of soul work. Obviously, it's done on such a level that words can't even describe it. So, grease you with 90 Earth consciousness. Yes, the Earth is, well, it's staying where it's at currently because, some of you are shifting its frequencies. Yes, keeping it from imploding by beings that want to. Yes, the World War III energy. Yeah, see how many are trying to create that reality. It's not going so well, though, as you can see. And continue not. It's been diluted a lot for obvious reasons. This world can't handle World War III. It will be gone. It would be maybe one continent, and that would be it, and the rest would be uninhabitable. Those realities do exist, and some of you might tap into them. Some of you came from those realities. Some of you came from those realities as you come here to assist this world, so it doesn't go happen here. This world's begging to go, well, because there is a 4, 5D, 6, 7th dimensional energy, and the beings here. Some of you are here to really resist a lot of this negativity and to pull forward, and others will follow. You're here to make it easier. Sometimes you wonder why you go through what you go through. You're here to make it easier for others, as difficult as that might be. But the nine doesn't mean you have the full nine. You can access some 9D frequencies. They don't have a World War III there, that's for sure. Well, basically, no more understand the astral, but also a protecting the physical realms. So the physical realms is a school. It has a purpose. It's not going to go away. It never will. You can't just throw away knowledge just like that. Some may would like to. It's always got a purpose, but it can be less vicious, but it's still going to have its still. You'd be surprised how many beings make it more vicious because like they don't want it to go away because it does have a purpose. It's just like it's a necessary frequency, as some of you know. And there's higher dimensional beings that just wanted just to end it, clear it all. They really are kind of brainwashed into that. The easy life isn't always what it's meant, because you get everything you want in a higher level, and then you become very weak, complacent, and that's where a lot of darkness comes out. You can become some of the most powerful, darkest beings in the universe, and then you've got incarnated through that process. Some can't let it go. Uh, some are still stuck in their old. Yeah, you have some gangsters here that are just literally stuck in their old ways. Not to go into details of that. Don't have a lot of the anger there. That's still bitterness that they lost the war. Yeah, sitting at home angry, things aren't going their way. It's like, yeah, I could take over this planet. Yeah, they're just sitting there waiting for their employment check or some kind of, check from the government just to sit there and just feel like they can rule the world. So there's this. Eventually, there'll be more downloads about how this world operates. Not to over, you know, some of you are helping these dark beings release the earth because some of them are keeping it captured at the lower frequency, and so you're releasing them from the earth. Of course, people have to learn through their lessons also. Yeah, we talk a little bit cryptic there, but even your average person, be surprised how many are gangsters of your planet, but no longer have the power, but they still have the bitterness. Like I said, they lost the war. So basically, like to give you a bit of, so as you know, beings are constantly attacking your planet. So those beings incarnate as a human due to the horrible things they've done here, so they get karma stuck, and they're stuck here physically, and they can't get out. And sometimes they have a health issue, not always. A lot of times it is, or mental, whatever it is. They have to kind of just, you know, do they change? Some of them do. Some become nicer. Others stay bitter forever. Doesn't mean they incarnate again, but they can be very bitter. So just give you some context on that. So some of you might run into people or a relative. So it's like, something very strange about that person. It's like, Aunt Margaret or whatever it is. It's just like there's some, people in your life that be surprised that just, you probably feel like at some point they did some horrible things here at one point, and now they have to be a human. Or you might feel that by yourself. And then there's a bit of imprisonment here. Now, some might be in denial that they're horrible to this planet. Hey, I'm good. I'm always good. But that might not always been the case in other realms. Like, yeah, cool. Yeah, now they found God, you can say. In some regard, when they're here, they basically find redemption, trying to clear. But some are in denial of the horrible things they've done here. Some of them say, yeah, I did this and that, but they're not realizing the scope of it. They are opening up their galactic selves. A lot of demonic beings are here in the physical and still doing their tactics. A lot of them are con men, things like that. So just give you some understanding of, you're here to understand the war here, right? Well, like I said, a lot of them are here physically that have caused difficulties. They're not as strong as they used to be, and a lot of them are very bitter. So we'll just leave it with that.